right, everybody, it's Anthony Brogdon. I'm the producer of the movie that I hope to be out, let's say August, September of this year, called Foot Soldiers, which deals with with mentorship. A teenager growing up without his father, and he gets a mentor, and it changes both of their lives. And I honestly believe mentorship is the answer to positively affecting the community at large and helping shape a young person so that they make better decisions because they need some additional guidance than what their parent or guardian is providing. I think that I'm saying that right. Not slighting that parent or guardian, but just enhancing what they do. Let's call it that. And so I interview these strong brothers and sisters across the country who give of themselves to help, let's say this, strangers to make their lives better. And of all that everybody that I've interviewed, they all come to the same conclusion. It has made them a better person. Boom shakalaka. So that's what I'm trying to do is let you all people see these mentors, let them tell some of their story, and then promote them in the website. No, not in the website, but in the movie. I'm giving them a free name listing. So when you sit there, you watch it, you know who you can call upon across America. And so I have a gentleman on the channel today that just in the few seconds that I've talked to him, I'm extremely impressed with what he does in his career for his life to help strangers. So come on, my brother, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about the organization, and then I got a couple questions.
Definitely, man. Thank you, man, for having me a part of this. It's an honor and a pleasure, man, to be in this space. Number one, you know, my name is Donnell Morgan. I'm the executive director at Elevate Oregon here in Portland, Oregon. And what Elevate does, I feel, is very unique. I've worked in several different nonprofits. I've worked with kids probably for about the last 20 years, 20 plus years. And the difference that when I first came on board to Elevate Oregon, what I noticed is that we take a holistic approach when working with a child. We do a cohort model. So we'll take kids, 30 kids in 6th grade, 30 kids in 7th grade, 8th grade. And as they enter from elementary school, they get assigned a case. We kind of choose kids based on 3 factors. If they're struggling attendance-wise, if they're having behavior issues, and if the grades are, you know, not where they need to be. So we figure if you're deficient in 2 or 3 of those areas, more than likely kids of color are not having a great experience in school. And so what we've been able to do is we call our mentors teacher mentors, because we have an MOU with the school district here in Park Rose that says we get a classroom, we get office space, and we get access to the computer base to look at the kids' attendance, grades, and anything that's going on with the student in school. And so we have a kid may go to math, English, science, social studies, and they'll end up in Elevate Oregon for their elective. And so in that classroom, if I'm the 6th grade mentor, we're talking about things, just you're kind of getting them ready for middle school. You're trying to get them ready to be young adults. And then when they promote the 7th grade, we all go together. And when they promote the 8th grade, we all go together. So you're going to have a kid with you from 6th grade to 8th grade. And then when they promote over to high school, that's when the high school Elevate Oregon staff picks up these kids and they stay with them 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th in that same cohort model. What we've been able to see from my arrival in 2016, and I would say around 2019 is when the stats came out, African-American students were graduating at a 58% clip in 2016-17. Graduation 2018, 2019, so in just 2 short years, we were to take that 58% and get it to 88%.
Wow.
So we're seeing kids, cross the line. And not just that, Anthony, we know not just graduating doesn't really just symbolize success. There's a lot of things that's going to happen on your way to that success, a lot of habits, a lot of growing, a lot of growing pains, a lot of things are going to happen on your way to crossing that line. And that's when you see the ultimate relationship between our staff and these kids on that particular day. But I always tell my staff, they're still unfinished products. You just wait in 5 years when you're in the grocery store and you see them with their family or you see them growing, then you'll know that you've watered these seeds and they're growing. They're not being shot down. They're not being arrested. They're not being incarcerated for long periods of time. What we're trying to do is help kids navigate this world in a safe way. Now, we're all going to make mistakes. We just don't want those mistakes to cost us opportunities to continue to grow in life. And that's really what Elevate Oregon does. I mean, it's a real intense, deep dive into a kid's life. So not only are we working with you in the school system, when that bell rings and you go off to your others classes and school is over, that mentor is working with the kid after school. Maybe you have to take them home, you have to pick them up for school, making sure that they're eating properly, any bills that can't get paid, lights off. So we're trying to break down all the barriers. We're trying to make sure all the barriers are out of the way so this kid can succeed. So a lot of times it's deep dive with the family. A lot of times it's deep dive with counselors at the school to make sure they're getting everything that they need to succeed. And we kind of help guide that. We work hand in hand with the school district. I would love to say the partnership with the school district is vital, because without their trust, us coming into their school to help provide a service that they need, right, for their school district, but we recognizing that our African-American young men and women need that extra push. They need more opportunities. We take them on field trips. We take them on college trips. We have people in the trade industry come and talk to us. So we'll go to their place of business. We haven't been able to do that as much because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
But, hopefully this next school year, we'll be able to get to more sites. But it's been a heck of a journey. And to be able to lead a group of young men and women that are putting in the work every day, that's on the front line every day. I'm just proud of my staff and everyone that, number one, believed in me and then believed in the mission. And ultimately, our kids are succeeding because of their hard work.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That was very well said. I guess the first thing question, I never been to Portland. Does Portland have some of those kind of issues?
We do.
It's not immune to what other major cities have.
Yeah, and man, a lot of stuff started really happening here over the pandemic, and it's more of this is an opportunist place. You don't have a very large African-American population, here in Portland. So when that pandemic hit, we took a big blow. Our students need that interface, being behind a computer is just very difficult for us to learn. Like, we need to be able to interact. That's our culture. We love relationships. And when you don't have that connection with these kids, right, well, the streets do. Yeah, I got you. The streets have it, so all of a sudden, you have this kid that's already on that thing where they can go either way, but they're coming to school every day to be around their mentors, so we have more influence. But then all of a sudden this pandemic hit, and most of our kids fit into that category of going either way, but the positive adults. But when you can only see them through the computer, phone calls, all of a sudden they start dodging that, and then all of a sudden the streets get a hold to them. So we have that issue with gun violence, and the pandemic has seen Portland just decimated. I've literally paid for, and this is not a proud thing what I'm about to say to you, but I've literally paid for about 6 funerals since the pandemic started, and these kids are not even the age of 20.
Wow.
Yeah,
Let me ask you
yeah.
this. When you all get to a kid and ask him to be a part of the program, do you get some kids, and I'm sure you do, to say, no, man, that's for chumps. Don't
In the
do that.
in the
That's not,
beginning,
come on, man, that
yep.
kind of thing. How do you convert that kid from the other kids saying that's for chumps for that kid to say, I'm gonna overlook your comment?
Yeah. It's funny because I have a different approach. I like to identify a kid. And when I may watch him for 2 or 3 weeks, I'll see him in the hallway and they don't know who the hell I am from Adam at this point, but they know I'm 6'4", 6'5", used to play basketball. So I use all those angles, right? And I'll just go put my arm around a kid walking down the hallway. Like, you know what? Have you ever heard of Elevate Oregon? No, I heard that's for bad kids. I'm like, really? Is that what you hear? Why don't you come give us a try? So what I try to do is be as welcoming as possible. I think every kid, let me just rephrase that. Everyone wants to be a part of something. And I think we all want to be a part of something that's positive. So, a lot of the kids that we have in the program now, they love it. There was some like, oh man, I don't want to do that, but then they get in it, they love it. And what we're seeing is they love it so much, they become territorial of their space, of their mentors, of their program, of their thing. So when we try to get other kids to come in, it's like, no, why are you letting them in? Why are you letting them? So
I got you.
It before it was like, no, but now it's kind of become, we have a waiting list. We have kids that want to get in, and and we're trying to work on some things with the school district to add more mentors. So I got to hire more people to serve more kids. So that's a good problem.
Yeah.
It's a good problem. But again, it takes time. Like I was always explaining to my board members, my staff, I'm like, we have to stay consistent. We just have to keep going forward. We have to keep going to and meet them where they are. The results will come. The results that you want will come with consistency and always doing what we say what we're going to do.
Yeah, I
And
love
that
it.
I put my hat on that, and I stood on that. And everything that we're the success that we're experiencing today, it's because of hard work. We always say yes.
Yeah.
We can get kids down there. Absolutely. If there's an opportunity to get a kid into CJ McCollum's after the game press pass, so kids can understand what it's like to be a presser at an NBA game. Oh man, yeah, we'll be there. Definitely. We're gonna have about 5 or 6 kids there. So
Yeah.
people coming towards Elevate, which is what I wanted. I didn't go seek it, but we just always put ourselves in that area. We put ourselves in the mix to the point where people now are asking us to be places. And it only benefits the kids, Anthony. So,
Yeah, I'm sure. That
it's
leads to
all,
my next
it's
question.
win-win.
How many more kids would you want? How many more? And I mean, to affect all of them, how many more kids could you imagine that would be in whatever schools you deal? And how many more mentors could that be? You know what I mean?
If I'm thinking just right here in this current school district that I'm in, I would say we would want every Black kid, every Black student, BIPOC, whether they're mixed, African, you name it. But I would want them all to be in Elevate Oregon. I would want the entire school of minority students to be in Elevate Oregon. And that's just in that one school. So that would probably take about 4 more. That would take 4 more mentors probably to have a whole school model, so to speak.
Oh, really? Okay.
And maybe between 4 and 5, right around that number. But then I'm looking at trying to replicate what we do, the success that we're experiencing here. I'm trying to replicate it in another school district here in Portland. That gentrification has happened. Yeah. When gentrification happens, the resources don't happen so quickly.
Right.
Is you move people, but you're moving them for where they're most comfortable, and then they have to drive, a ways to get back to their community, so-called. You can move people, but you can't move a church. Right. You can't move a community center. You can't move grandmother and you can't move history, Right. And me not even being a native Oregonian, I understand their history. I understand that I need to be where the people are.
I
I
got
need to be where they are so I can be a part of getting them resources, and where they being moved, that they're feeling comfortable, they're feeling good about where they are. Nothing's changes. We're just trying to make sure that they know where to go for resources. And again, making sure their kids are connected to something positive. That's
you
Black.
alluded to this earlier, but is one statement that a kid said to you that blew your mind as a result of what you do? What where you went home and you might even have cried because he said something that touched you. Is there one of those?
I had a kid that told me that they wouldn't have graduated if it wasn't for me. And I was like, why do you say that? I'm like, why would you say that? And, she was like, I didn't even want to go to school. I didn't even, like, there's days that I didn't even want to go, but I know you were at school, so I wanted to be there because of you. And that, you can give me all the amount of money in the world, you can pay me all this money and give me all these things, but that is priceless. Like, and that you can't put a measure on that, when it comes to the game of life, and why I feel as though I was born to serve. I was born to give.
Is there a statement that you live by, a mantra in regards to mentorship?
I would say that every kid has an opportunity to succeed.
I love it.
It's pretty simple, I think we look at at first glance, you'll look at a young African-American kid, and just a kid in general, and I've had kids that was very tough in school, and they were getting suspended, and and I've been in expulsion hearings where I've got expulsions turned over so the kid can stay in school. And just being able to see them succeed, get through those tough times. I'm in the grocery store the other day, and one of the young ladies that was in my program, and she had a rough upbringing. She was the one I was able to get the expulsion overturned, and then she graduated high school. Now she's working at the local grocery store. Well, it's a big grocery store at that, but she's one of the undercover security guards. She's still doing her work to be a police officer, but you can see the pride that she has in her work. You can see what the mentors have done for her, the way she talks, the way she speaks. And, she came out of nowhere and gave me a big hug. And it was just like, wow. I immediately went to, what if we would have threw this kid away? What if I didn't go and advocate that this kid stays in the public school around positive adults, and they sent her to a alternative ed high school? She's going to be around more people that's going to influence in the other way. She needs to be here around positive adults. I'll put my job on the line for this kid, and I did. And that really.
Tell us the name of your website. What can people outside do out in your neighborhood, in Portland, do to help you all, that kind of thing? And what's the website?
Yeah, so the website is Elevate Oregon, ELEVATE Oregon.org. There you can go to our website and kind of take a deep dive of who we are. You can take a look at the staff. You can take a look at my bio. But most importantly, there's a link where you can donate. I would like to say, donating money is always a good thing. We need resources to be able to combat these things that's happening. And it's crazy, Anthony, because times has changed from when we were kids. There's different influences. There's different ways of doing things now with kid to kid. So really just coming closer to Elevate. If you want a virtual tour, if you want a virtual site visit, we would definitely be able to give you that. We can have mentors come on and talk to you. We can have kids come on and talk. But yeah, man, just really hitting us up. Come and checking us out.
Can you all have outside people volunteer who are not staff, that kind of thing, if somebody wanted to say that?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Just again, go into the website. You can also email me, Donnell, DONELL at elevateoregon.org. You can email me. I can set you up to come out and volunteer. And even if you want to come speak to one of our classes, you know, about your experience, about your upbringing, because I like to use real people, real stories, because they're going through the same things. And it's good for adults to come in and share their stories as well. You know, we're always, you know, teaching the next, so through our experiences. So we definitely welcome anyone that's passionate in that direction.
Well, hey, my man, cool dude. Man, I appreciate you doing this. We're gonna blast this out. We're gonna find some people to out of that area to help you and your organization somehow.
We appreciate that. We appreciate
spread this, man, and let's make it happen. Everybody,
let's do it.
Man, he check it out. He's a foot soldier.
Yes, sir.
He's kind of, you know, in terms of the movie, he's what I'm talking about.
Yes,
People
sir.
like him. They on the front line to making this happen for people. So go to the website, Elevate Oregon, check them out. Do what you can, my viewers, and let's keep this thing going stronger. Thank you, my brother, for coming on. I'll be in touch. I've never been to Portland. I'm coming out there because I got to see. Here's a beautiful city, and I can tell it's some cool folk.
Absolutely. Looking forward to seeing you, man. Make sure you tap in with me.
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
Right. Thank you.
All right, buddy.
All right.